Relational code, the relational code. See, your relationships are not just about who you like, they're about who has access to you, they're about what you tolerate, they're about what you contribute, they're about what you learn and the kind of life that you're building. And what we are hoping that at the end of today's masterclass, that would go from I need better people around me to I need to become a better relational decision maker. So, we want to look at building relationships that add value to your life. Building relationships that add value to your life. And I'd love for today's class to be active. I'd love for us to be present in the comments. I'd love for us to be intentional, to respond, and to engage so that we can know that you are in the room. There are people who make your life bigger. There are people that you meet, and by the virtue of knowing them, your life gets bigger. There are also people that you meet who make your life smaller. I don't know if you've met people like that, but I know that I have. There are also people who make your life better. There are people who are constantly pulling you backwards. And then there are people who are good people, but are not necessarily your people. One of the most important skills that we need to develop as people who are going to be leaders in a generation is our ability to understand people as we grow. We need to learn, we need to understand the ability to really understand people as we grow. And this is not just about making friends, it's not just about networking or avoiding toxic relationships, but it is how we could choose people wisely. We could choose people wisely. We can maintain healthy boundaries, receive value, and actually become someone that is worth knowing. And I want to begin today by asking you a question. Are you worth knowing? When people think about you, are you somebody that will think and say, I want to get to know this person? I want to have a friendship or a relationship with Victory, maybe, or Faithful. I want to have a relationship with Joy. Please can you hear me, everybody? I just need to confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Your life would never be completely separate from the people you allow into it. So your relationships is very powerful. Your relationships affect your thinking. Your relationships influences your decision. Sorry, your relationships influences your thinking. Your thinking influences your decisions, and your decisions influences your life. I repeat it again. Your relationships influence your thinking. Your thinking influence your decisions, and your decisions influence your life. So learning people is a very important part of learning about life. Learning people, it's very key in learning about life. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine one of those days, and she made a very profound statement. She said, it is very possible to be intelligent and make terrible people decisions. It is possible to be intelligent, it is possible to be gifted and still surround yourself with people who keep you small, people who keep you in their space where you are the least, you are the smallest, you can never seem to outgrow them. And so it is important that we learn and differentiate this thing, that loving people does not mean that we should not have boundaries. Apostle Salman puts it this way: when God wants to change your life, he brings people. When the enemy wants to destroy your life, he brings people too. So you can meet someone who changes the trajectory of your life because you were wise enough to recognize that they were in front of you. And this is why relationships matter. Some of the biggest opportunities in your life will come through people. And some of the biggest lessons in your life will come through people. It will come through people. So we must learn people. We must learn how to study people, how to relate with people, how to work with people. So I want to start with a question. Who is influencing who you're becoming? Who is influencing who you're becoming? Not who are your friends. Who is influencing how you think? Who do you call when you have to make a major decision? Who challenges you? Who tells you the truth? Who celebrates you? Who has access to your emotions? Who has access to your future? Who knows your plans? Who do you become around certain people? Has it ever happened to you that when you go around certain people, you become a completely different person? When you are around certain people, sometimes you do not recognize yourself. You become a different person. The problem is not that you don't have people. The problem is that you have people in the wrong places. Are you with me? So, the first code that I want to teach you today is that people are a part of your environment. People are part of your environment. Your environment is not just where you live, it is what you repeatedly consume. Your environment is who you repeatedly encounter. So there's something called influence by proximity. You begin to normalize what you repeatedly see. So if everyone around you treats irresponsibility as normal, you would soon begin to do the same. If everyone around you begins to treat irresponsibility as normal, you would feel that being responsible is being extreme. If everyone around you is constantly complaining, ambition can feel strange to you. If everyone around you is building and learning and taking responsibility, stagnation will become uncomfortable for you. So there is something called influence of proximity. You will soon become who you hang around. You will soon become who you spend the most time with. So I don't want you to forget this code, that people are part of your environment. This is why you need to pay attention to your environment. You need to pay attention to what kind of environment am I conditioning? What kind of environment am I giving expression to? Am I giving permission to? You cannot consistently live above the standard of the environment you keep. If you even try to live above it, you'll notice that you'll soon come crashing down. You will soon come crashing back down because environments exert pressure. All right? Environment exerts pressure. So, what are the 5 people problem? Or let me put it this way, 5 relational categories. Relationship is my network keeps going off. Can you hear me now, please? What was
Yes,
the last thing you heard me say? What's the last thing you heard me say? Thank you. 5 relationship categories that you need to be aware of if you will be remotely successful in life. There are 5 categories of people that you need to be aware of. Number one, you need to be aware of who I call the builders. The builders. Who are the builders, you may be wondering? I'll tell you. The builders are people who are actively building their life and building their future. They are actively working on their lives, they're actively working on their future, they're actively doing stuff. So they may not have everything figured out. That's the builders, but they're moving. They may not know everything that there is for them to know, but they are on the move. They are repeatedly on the move. The second category is the teachers. The teachers or mentors. They are people who know something you don't know. All right. They expand your thinking when you hang around them long enough. They expand your thinking. They force you to grow. They force you to see differently. They make demands on the future that you are avoiding through what they teach you. Number three is who I call your mirrors. Your mirrors. There are people who know you well enough to tell you what you don't want to hear. They know you well enough to tell you what you don't want to hear. So what they basically do is that they help you see yourself. Your mirror will help you see you. Your mirror would help you meet you, help you see you. Then there are your peers. Your peers, your colleagues. They are in similar stages to you. So you guys may not even necessarily be the same age grade, but you can have similar experiences. So you grow together. You don't compete with them, you grow together. There's the fifth category of people. And the fifth category of people are who I call the drains. The drains. They are people who that their repeated patterns consistently consume your time. Their repeated patterns consistently sabotage you. They take your attention, they take your energy, they take your resources without any meaningful reciprocity. Now, this does not mean that everybody that is struggling is a drain. And this does not mean that people who are successful are automatically valuable. No. Here we're talking about patterns. Look at the roots of the relationship, not just the fruits of the relationship. Are you with me? Look at the roots of the relationship. Yes, they are successful, but is their success because they are very gifted people? Are they consistent procrastinators? What sort of patterns are they permitting? What sort of patterns are they building around? Things like this are things that if you must be successful, you need to pay attention to it. So before you go and put somebody in a category, you want to find out, okay, how do I feel after I interact with this person? What do I learn from this person? What does this person bring into my life? And what am I bringing into their own life? Do I become more myself around them, or do I feel less? Do they challenge me or do they just comfort me? Do they respect my growth? Do they respect who I'm becoming in my journey? Would I want more of this person's character in my own life? And don't just, try to make decisions at this time. I would even invite you to listen to this teaching again. And now, with your answers, observe patterns. There is something that I always say to people who care to listen to me, and I would repeat it here. Patterns are more powerful than results. Patterns are more powerful than results. And I'll tell you why. There's something called a one-hit wonder. Have you ever heard musicians who sing one hit song, and after they sing that hit song, it's like their lives has disappeared after they sing that song? So this is what I need you to learn. I need you to pay attention to the fact that it is possible for someone to become a one-hit wonder. It is possible for someone to um not be so successful. And sometimes it may not even be of their own making, right? But pay attention to their patterns. Pay attention to what their life is revealing more than what their lips are saying. Pay attention to what their trends is revealing to you more than what their mouth is saying. So before I hear your mouth, I want to see your patterns. Before I hear what you have to say, I want to hear what you have to show me through your patterns. So what are your patterns revealing to me? What are your patterns telling me about you, about leadership, about my future? What mirror is your life showing me? And do I like what I see on the other side of the mirror? Do you understand this? So it becomes very important. The second relational code that I want to share with you is stop choosing people because you like them. Stop choosing people because you like them. Liking somebody is not enough to build your life with them. Liking somebody is not enough reason to build your life with them. You can like somebody and not trust them. You can love somebody and need distance. You can enjoy somebody's company and still recognize that this person is not good for your future. You can admire somebody's success and recognize that their character is not something that you want to reproduce. There are 4 tests that I have personally when I want to decide if I want to introduce a person into my life. Number 1 test is the character test. The character test. Who are they when nobody is watching? Who are they when nobody is watching? How do they treat people who cannot benefit from them? How do they respond when they're wrong? How do they handle power? How do they handle the disappointments? All of this is revealing their character, because character is not only seen in success, character is also revealed through failure. Character. Number 2 is compatibility. Compatibility. You see, not everybody has to be like you, but there must be enough shared values for the relationship to work. Everybody does not have to be like you, copied and pasted. No, but there has to be enough shared values. I don't mean shared clothing sense or shared speaking sense. No, shared values. So some of the questions that I ask for compatibility are this: do we value similar things? That is it. What is important to me, important to them? Do you see what I'm saying to you right now? It's what's valuable to me, valuable to them. Do we have compatible standards? So, not just do we value similar things now, but do we have compatible standards? So, that means that the standards that I have set out for myself, are they the same standards or even similar standards that this person has? I cannot say that I value integrity, excellence, and honor, and my best friend is someone who believes if you behave anyhow, you collect anyhow. You won't be successful that way. You would realize that you are self sabotaging. You are self sabotaging. Number three, can we communicate? Can we communicate? So, can we sustain a conversation and I won't feel irritated. I won't feel lost. I won't feel like something is missing, something is not right after our conversations. You need to be able to clearly know this. Can we talk? There are some friends that you see, I know you say, that girl, that guy, that cloth. No, if that's all we talk about and we cannot have clear growth conversations, then I don't know if I want to be your friend. The next thing that I look at is, can we disagree? Can we disagree? And I believe this is quite clear. Like, can I have a disagreement with you and I'm not uncomfortable, I'm not belittled? Must it always be your way or the highway? So you want to find out, can I disagree with this person? And then number five is, do we respect one another? Do we respect one another? Respect is seen in how we treat each other when we have nothing to lose or when we have everything to lose. Do you understand me? So I'll give you a really good example that I think will help you. For example, I could say that I respect Triumphant right now. And then maybe she has shared something very private with me because she trusts me as her mentor. And then the day that maybe I'm offended at her, I'll go on my status and I'll start talking about private things that she shared with me because she felt safe. And we see that a lot with all these celebrity friendships on social media. You see that the day they fight, they start posting receipts, they start posting screenshots. I saw a very funny video today, and it was this girl. She was saying, "Oh God, please don't let me and my friends fight, and don't let our screenshots." Do you understand? Oh, don't let us have beef, the kind of beef that you know would be talked about, would be that if people see the screenshots. And she prayed, like the prayer was so funny. She said something like, oh, if the screenshots come out, please don't allow people to be able to see, to read it. Obviously, it was shading something that happened recently on social media, but it just dawned on me that, we shouldn't feel scared that if something happens to our friendships or our relationships, we'll go the low blow way. Become that person that when people know that if something happens with me and this person, the world is not going to know my secrets. The world is not going to hear about my pain or about my frustrations. Intentionality is everything. Are you with me? Very important for compatibility. Number three thing that you want to make sure that you have is capacity. Capacity. You see, it is not everybody who is wonderful that has the capacity for the relationship you want. Let me put it this way, and this is with all due respect, but you cannot ask for executive level friendship from somebody who can barely maintain basic level communication. You cannot ask for basic level, and you cannot ask for executive level and expect basic, or expect executive with someone who is basic. Cannot work. Is an absolute disaster. You can't build emotional depth with someone who has never developed it. You can't build emotional depth with someone who has never developed it. You cannot demand mentorship from someone who has no interest in teaching. You have to recognize capacity, because understanding capacity has a way of protecting you from unnecessary disappointments. The fact that I know your capacity will protect me from being offended at you, because I already have an idea of who you are and how you are. So nothing you do should come as a surprise or a shock to me. A lot of us are in friendships that they are shocking us daily. That's because you are asking capacity that someone has no ability to give. Number four, direction. Direction. Where are they going? Don't jump into relationships because of where they are now. I hope you realize that there are some people whose present is their destination. So they don't have any future beyond this current state. That is, I cannot have any dream bigger than my present stage. So where I am now is my ultimate. So you want to know, okay, what direction is this person moving in? What direction is this person moving in? Because somebody can be behind you financially and be ahead of you in character. Somebody can be ahead of you in your profession or your business, and they may be going in a direction that you don't want to go. So you need to know that direction matters. Direction matters. So just liking a person is not enough. Beyond the like, quote and unquote, we need to pay attention to character, to compatibility, to capacity, and to direction. This will help you make better relationship decisions and not just looking for who do I have chemistry with. All right. So, this is what I believe. Chemistry may introduce you, but let's have a process, have a procedure of and a clear premise for why you should stay. So I may be excited. I may be excited to meet a person, but my excitement is not enough reason for me to stay. Are you learning something valuable today? Are you learning something valuable today? All right. Code number 3. Code number 3. Boundaries are not punishment. Boundaries are not punishment. I learned something, and I think I learned it the hard way. You see, a lot of us don't have a relationship problem. We have what I call an access problem. We do not have a relationship problem. We have an access problem. So ultimately, we have given access to too many people, to too many sides of our lives. Let's start with defining access. How many of you here think you can just come into my home and go into my bedroom? How many of you here feel like, oh, if I just come to your house, I'll go into your bedroom with your husband and I'd lie down and get some rest? Many of you would not be able to do that because you do not have the access to. Not everyone needs access to your private life. Not everybody needs access to your finances. Not everybody needs access to your plans. Not everyone needs access to your emotions. It's not everyone who needs access to your family. It's not everyone who needs access to your time. It's not everyone who needs access to your home. It's not everyone who needs back-end access to how you make decisions. It's not everyone who needs access to your vulnerabilities. We must learn to define access. Define access. Define how much access a person gets to you at every point in your journey. So there's something called the access ladder. There's the public, the general public. There are people that know you casually. They don't know much about you. Define the kind of access they get for where they are in their relationships with you. Then there's the social access. These are people that you like, people that you enjoy spending time with, you enjoy interacting with them. The fact that you're social with them does not mean that they should get certain levels of access to you. And then there's the personal access. These are people who know significant parts of your life. They know significant parts of your life. Not all of it, but significant parts of your life. Then there's your inner circle. These are people that have earned deep trust. Emphasis on the word earned. Stop giving people what they have not earned just because they look like good people. Let people earn your trust. Let people earn your access. Let people earn your attention. So it is earned. And then there is covenant relationships and your core. These are people with significant long term relational responsibility and access. Now, it's not everybody who can go from public to inner circle. And the fact that people are in the same environment as you does not mean that they should have the access. The fact that you're my neighbor does not mean you should know what I have in my home. So proximity should not automatically mean access. It should not be that automatic. Let there be clear boundaries. Let there be clear boundaries, clearly defined boundaries. So, what are some questions that I should think about when I'm thinking about boundaries? I'll tell you. Number one, number one thing that you need to think about is, have they demonstrated trustworthiness? Have they demonstrated trustworthiness? Has this person shown me that I can trust them? Has this person shown me through their behavior that that if I share something with them, I'm not going to see it on their WhatsApp status? Very important. Number two, do they respect my no? Do they respect my no? So if I say no to this person, is it enough? Or do they be like, okay, why? Why are you telling me no? No, is my no enough? Very important. Number three, can they keep confidence? Can they keep confidence? So if I tell them something, would I see it as something on social media? Would I see it as something that is being talked about carelessly, how would I see it, you know? Will somebody come and tell me a version of the story and I'll be shocked to hear it? It is very important that we ask ourselves these questions. Number four, do they celebrate my growth? Do they celebrate my growth? So, is my growth a competition, or is it celebrated as something that matters? I hope you know that there are certain friends that you succeeding at something will provoke competition. Oh, let me try to outdo her. Oh, let me try to outdo him, and all of that. So you need to be very clear to say that, okay, are we competing, or are we truly growing and, complementing each other in our journey? Is that good? Next, can they disagree without becoming disrespectful? Can we disagree without them becoming disrespectful? So, can we have a conversation where both of us are not on the same page? Both of us don't necessarily agree with what it is that we have shared, but we would honor each other and not disrespect each other. Can you have a friend who you don't agree with, and nobody is called stupid, nobody is called an idiot? You can have a conversation, or you can say, oh, emotions are high. Can we get back to this later? It is extremely important that you have this and you own this. Number six, do they take responsibility? Do they take responsibility? Number seven, is there reciprocity? Is there reciprocity? So that means that, am I the only one giving and they're just taking? Or are we both, mutually giving in our relationship, in our friendship? Are we both giving, or what is the dynamics of our friendship when it comes to giving and receiving? I used to have one friend that I realized that I was always the one making the effort. I was always the one going to visit. I was always the one. And then one day, I paid attention to it and I decided I'm going to stop going, and I'm going to see what happens when I stop going. I realized that when I stopped going to visit, when I stopped reaching out, they stopped too. And so I realized I did not have a friendship. It looked like I was forcing myself into their lives. So I took a complete step back. One of the best decisions I made, because I moved on from, the pressure of trying to be somebody's friend who did not want to be my friend. And I think some of you need to think about that. So you need to think about it. Am I my friend's friend? Or are they just my friend because I am consistently reaching out, I'm consistently trying to be there for them and the likes of it? Capiche? Number eight, do I feel safe being honest? So can I feel safe enough to tell them things I'm scared of? Can I feel safe enough to share the weight of me with them without feeling like my weight could crush them? It is very key that we pay attention to this. Absolutely important that we consider this. Also, do they respect my time? Do they respect my time? I absolutely will not be friends with someone who gives me a time and shows up 2 hours later. I feel you do not have regard for yourself if you're keeping those kinds of friends. Also, number 10, does this relationship have healthy expectations? Does this relationship have healthy expectations? Now, I need you to understand something. A boundary is not a rejection of a person. A boundary is not a rejection of a person. So, you putting boundaries in your friendships or in your relationships, it's not that you are rejecting the person. It is just you defining the level of access that people should have when it comes to you. It is not everybody that should come into your room. Are you with me or have I lost you yet? Have I lost you? Code 4. The fourth relational code is stop looking for people and start becoming someone people can trust. Thank you. Start becoming someone people can trust. This class is not for you to be able to choose better friends or better mentors. You know, we're starting with asking ourselves, are you a good friend? Are you a good friend? You see, trust is built on consistency plus character plus confidentiality plus competence and care. Consistency, you do what you repeatedly say you will do. Number two is character. You don't become another person depending on the room. You are consistent in every room that you are in. Competence or confidentiality. People don't have to fear about becoming tomorrow's conversations. People don't have to be scared that, will I be talked about tomorrow? And then number four, competence. You're dependable. If you say, I'll help you, you actually help. If you say, I'll call you, you actually call. If you say, I'll do this, you actually do it. Like if you say, I'll pray for you, you actually pray for them, not just saying it to get them off your back. Being intentional. And then care. Don't just be interested in what they can do for you. Care about them as people, care about them as individuals. I work with people in my organization, and even the people that I pay salaries, when they tell me they're sick, I do my best to call. How are you doing? It's not because of what you can do for me. It is because I sincerely care about you. That should be the kind of person you are, even before we give you a platform and call you a leader. Be that person. Be that person that, there's one of my team members who is not feeling well, and she's a critical part of something that I'm doing. And I had to tell, the CO of the COO of KMA is playing point on a particular project that we're doing. And so I had to tell her, oh, let's hold on because this person is not available right now. Let's give her space to heal. I wasn't saying it to impress her or to let her feel I was a good person. I sincerely meant it. Be that person for people. Care about people sincerely, not just what they can do for you, not just what you can get from them. Care about them. Care about people's emotions. Care about people's health. Care about them. Even the Bible says something: to him who wants friends himself must first be friendly. If I say that I want to have friends, then myself first, I need to be a friendly person. I need to be the kind of friend I want to have. So a lot of times I hear people complain of, oh, I'm so lonely, I don't have friends. And I ask them one question: would you want to be the kind of friend that you are? The kind of friend that you have been to people, would you kind of be that kind of friend? It is important that people can trust you. Can they trust your word? Can they trust your silence? Can they trust your motives? Can they trust you with good news? Can they trust you with bad news? Can they trust you when you are offended? This is true mature relationship. It's not just oh, be nice to people. No. Can you be trusted when the chips are down? Can you be trusted when it does not make sense? Be that friend. Code number 5: build meaningful relationships. Build meaningful relationships. I've learned over time that relationships are not accidental. Relationships do not happen by accident. When you're younger, proximity does a lot of the work. So you meet somebody in school, you became friends. But as you become an adult, adulthood changes things. Adulthood changes a whole lot of things. And what do I mean by that? People move, people get married, people build careers, people relocate, people become parents, people change. So if you want meaningful friendships as an adult, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. If you want to build a lasting relationship in adult years, there are 3 elements that you need to consider. There are 3 elements that I feel you need to consider. Number 1 is proximity. I hear people say, oh, my friend and I, we've not spoken for 10 years. And then when we talk, it feels just like we never left. That's nice and all, but I don't think you're actually friends. Because with friendship, you need opportunity to interact. When it comes to friendship, you need an opportunity to interact. You need an opportunity to relate with each other, to hang around with each other, to talk to each other. You need those opportunities. So don't just say, oh, we're friends. Your friends, when last did you talk to each other? Your friends, do you know what is going on with them outside of their last Instagram post? Your friends, do you even understand their personality? Can you put your name on the line for them? You can't do that if you've not interacted with them. It's very key. It's very important. Very key, very important. Number two is purpose. So you have proximity, you have purpose. It is Miles Monroe who said that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. When we do not know the purpose for why we are together, it is a no-brainer that very soon we would abuse our relationship because there is no central aim holding it together. So purpose is necessary. Something needs to connect us beyond the fact that it is convenient. Something needs to keep us beyond the fact that it is convenient. Convenience should not be the only reason why we are friends. Convenience should not be the only reason why we have a friendship. Very important to note. Number three is investment. Investment. So our friendship may have proximity, it may have purpose, but the question now becomes, are we actually willing to invest and to maintain the relationship? And that means that investment could be an investment of support. An investment of support. So am I willing to, invest my support with to this person? Am I willing to put my name on the line for this person? Am I willing to show up for this person? Or is it just commenting on their Instagram post and saying, oh my God, it's my friend, stuff like that. You are not actually building a friendship on aura for aura, energy for energy, and all of that. So we need to become very, very intentional about all of this. Now, you cannot complain about absence of deep relationships when you are consistently investing at a shallow level. You cannot complain about absence of deep relationships when your investments are shallow. Your investment need to match, it needs to match up. Stop giving shallow investment and expecting life-changing friendships. No, be intentional. Relationships will cost you. Relationships will cost you, whether it's with a mentor, whether it's with a friend that you're trying to build, it will cost you. I have a mentor that all my mentors on their birthdays, they get gifts. And I don't make those gifts with my mouth. It costs me money. When my mentor, someone I call mentor, writes a book, I'm getting it. And a lot of times their books are quite expensive. Their books are quite expensive, but guess what? I'll pay for it. Why? Because I need to learn from my mentor. The same thing, your friendships, your friend has an event, you don't show up, you don't post it, you don't do anything, and then you sit down and you call them friend. Very soon, if they find somebody who treats them better, they walk away. Code number 6, and I think I'm going to end with this quote. Code number 6. I have 7. Okay, I'll share the 7. I think it will help you. Code number 6 is have standards. Have standards. Stop choosing especially with romantic relationships now. Stop choosing romantic relationships based on attraction alone. Attraction matters, but attraction cannot be the only reason why you choose. Have standards. What's your standard? If everybody is someone that can hang around you, can behave anyhow with you, if everybody has access to act anyhow, show up anyhow, and you are babe with them, I don't respect you. And that's with all due respect. What's their character? How do they treat people? Do they have values? What do they believe about life, about money? What do they believe about everything? Find out what they believe. It was Archbishop Benson Idahosa who made a very profound statement that changed my life and helped me when I was choosing. He said, if you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. If you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. So at every point, if you don't stand for something, you would fall for every single thing. Think about things like emotional maturity. Can they communicate? Can they apologize? Can they take correction? Can they regulate themselves? There are some people that once they get angry, the whole world will know that they're upset. Once they get angry, they don't care who is there, they speak to you carelessly and all of that. You need to know, is this what you're signing up for the rest of your life? And you need to ask yourself, am I patient enough to handle this? One of my mentees asked me, is love enough? I said, love should be enough because biblical love of what God has taught us about love, it should be enough. But we live in a world where people don't believe that biblical love is enough. So they say things like love is not enough. But love is enough. Love is enough. Love is patient, love is kind, love suffers long. Love is enough. But then really ask yourself, which love am I talking about? Is it the fact that I have butterflies, or the reality that this person is patient with my humanity, that this person is not trying to crucify me because I made a mistake? And then there's the place of responsibility. Does this person take ownership of their life, or are they just being lackadaisical about everything? Direction, is our future compatible, or are they going in a different direction than me? And if you want to remember the test of compatibility, you can listen to the beginning where I talk a lot about compatibility and what it looks like. Then there's honor. Do they respect your boundaries? Do they respect your boundaries? Do they respect your convictions? Do they respect you as a person? Or do they punish you for their insufficiencies? They procrastinate and then they punish you for their procrastination. So let's become intentional. And I want to say something. Red flags is not they don't like the same music that I like. Red flags involve things like patterns of dishonesty, manipulation, disrespect, controlling behavior, repeated irresponsibility, boundary violations, refusal to take responsibility, contempt, consistent unreliability. Don't turn incompatibility into a moral accusation, and don't rename danger as incompatibility. You must be able to effectively look at your relationship and say to yourself, this is what it is. All right. And then finally, find people ahead of you. And this is where mentorship is important. You need people who can see around the corners, someone that has already walked the road that you're trying to walk. That can save you years. All right. It can save you years having somebody that has walked where you're trying to walk, someone that has made the mistakes that you're trying to make now, someone that has, experienced the entire path that you're seeking to experience now. But don't approach people with please mentor me with no preparation. Don't just meet people and go to their DMs and say, hi, I like what you're doing. Please mentor me. That's not a way to be mentored. Learn, observe, ask questions, apply what you learn, stay in the relationship. My mentor makes a post, I'm going to like it. Like I said earlier, my mentor writes a book, I'm purchasing it. I'm reading it, I'm giving them feedback. I'm not just purchasing it to um impress them. No, I'll purchase it, I'll read it, I'll say, oh, I read this your book, and this happened, and I'm so grateful. It answered this question. I'm grateful for your mentorship. There are three levels of mentorship. Number one is content. So through their books, through their sermons, through their podcasts, or their courses, that's content. Then the second one is access. Access is through conversations, through events, through communities. That is another way that they can mentor you. Then there is relationship, and this is built over time. So over time, you know, I've learned how to speak to my mentor. Over time, I've learned how to talk to my mentor. Over time, over time, over time, over time. What have you built over time with your mentors? A lot of us do not understand the gift of time. So you are not giving time to your relationships and you are expecting the fruits, on the first day. And it does not work that way. You cannot expect fruit in a tree that you have not taken care of, or in a plant site that you have not paid attention to. You need to pay attention. It is when you pay attention, you will now see that, oh, this is it. This is it. This is what's happening. And this is how it's happening. And these are the things that, I've learned in the journey. There's some things that my mentor doesn't need to tell me, oh, rejoice, this is how it is. I can just listen to the language that they say when I speak to them about something. And that's enough for me to know their stance on a particular decision I want to make. You must learn between the lines of your mentor. You must understand what they're saying without having to say it. You must start mentorship. Like they should be able to talk to you in a room full of people and nobody realizes what just happened without carrying my phone to say, oh, let me send you a message and tell you what I'm saying. No. So it is very, very important that we pay attention to this. Wow. So I've given you 7 relationship codes, 7 relationship codes. I'll run through it again. And if you joined in late, please do well to listen to the replay so that you can get the meat of the conversation. Number one, people are part of your environment. Your environment is not just where you live, it is who you repeatedly encounter. Number two, stop choosing people only because you like them. The fact that you like somebody is not enough to be in a relationship with them. Number three, boundaries are not punishment. Boundaries are not punishment. So you don't have a relationship problem, you have an access problem. Pay attention to who and what you are giving access to. Who and what are you giving access to? Very important. Number four, stop looking for people and start becoming a person that people can trust. Stop looking for people and start becoming a person that people can trust. Number five, build meaningful relationships. Stop trying to build shallow relationships. Build very meaningful relationships. Build beneath surface and go a little deeper. Number six, have standards. Have standards. Don't just enter into a relationship with anybody or everybody. Have clear standards. And then number seven, find people who are ahead of you. You need mentors. You need mentors. You need mentors in your life. Your life is too important to be casual about people. Your life is too precious to be casual about the people who have a say or who have a level of access into your life. Stop being too casual about this. Not everybody needs access to you, and definitely not everybody needs to have your deepest trust. And also, don't become so afraid of bad relationships that you miss out on really good ones. Don't become so obsessed with bad relationships. Oh, I was friends with this person and I was traumatized by what they did to me. No, don't become so obsessed with bad relationships that you do not give attention to new to build new ones that are going to be good as well. You need people. You need people. So I'll leave you with one last question. Who are you becoming in the lives of the people around you? Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? What influence, you know, is the life of people around you giving you? Are you just being laissez faire? Are you just being careless and nonchalant? Who are you becoming? Pay attention to that, because it's not just about what we say, it's about who we're becoming. When the lights, cameras, action goes off, who are you becoming? With these few points of mine, I've come to the end of today's masterclass. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Yes, please, Mr. Peter. Please do unmute yourself and ask.
Okay, good evening, Ma. I just want to appreciate you for this wonderful moment. I've learned a lot. First, my first question is: you say we should not choose people based on the fact that we like them. Then, at what ground should we choose people around? What ground? Like, I don't like somebody. Should I still? I don't know. I just want to get clarity on that. And
Okay.
also, when you're talking about the area of relationship and about some certain signs. I would have loved if we can be more practical in the lines so that, there are certain words we might use, generalize on certain things, but we can spell it out. Talk about some certain signs that you need to look out for. So I don't know if those signs can be spelled out so that we get to know. So the first question is, you said we should not choose because we like them.
Okay,
Wow.
so I think you missed like the beginning part of that conversation, or the whole part of it. So you may need to go back and watch the replay. But I said that we don't choose people because we like them, but liking people is the foundation. So I'm not going to be friends with somebody I don't like. I'll be friends with somebody, but let chemistry be the foundation, but let it not be the only reason why I want to be around you. Do you understand? And then also, I've also learned to give people time. There are some people who unfortunately make wrong first impressions. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but you are so nervous to meet somebody, and the day you meet them, you just mistalk out of excitement, or you misact out of excitement. And it's not because you're a bad person, you're just nervous. You don't want to say the wrong thing, and it pushes you to say the wrong thing. Or sometimes I'll tell you guys a funny story. You can laugh at me, but just not too much. There was a day that I met Dr. Paul Enenche, and I was coming down a staircase and he was coming up the staircase. And as soon as I saw him, like I froze. I couldn't remember good morning, good afternoon. I couldn't remember anything. I just blanked out. I just stood and I was watching him, like I was just overwhelmed. He's somebody that I respect, he's somebody that I honor. And so just meeting him, I stood there like lost. And I'd never forget, like he was going past me and he said, "Good morning." And it was after he passed me that it hit me that, Como, Dr. Paul just passed you. So I just turned and said, "Sorry, sir. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Well done, sir." Like I just blotted out everything that came out of my mouth at that moment. And he stopped and he laughed. The people with him laughed and he said, "Let her come." And I came and I shook his hand, and he asked me, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm fine, thank you, sir." He knows my dad. He asked me about my dad. And you know, it was just crazy. I was so embarrassed. Like the next time he asked to see me, I was so ashamed to go and meet him, because I was like, God, poor first impression. But it didn't matter to him. And that just made me, learn to give people grace. There's a way you can be starstruck. There's a way you can just be overwhelmed that, oh my God, I've been wanting to meet this person for a while. And finally, I get to meet this person, sit with this person and all of that. I'll give you another funny example. I was invited to preach with a minister of the gospel that I really admire, and they preached before me. I was the last person to preach. I wanted to die because I felt like I should have preached before this person, right? And then the idea or what my host told me was that, oh, she needs to leave. So once she's done preaching, she's going to leave. Well, guess what, people of God? After she was done preaching, she sat down. I'm like, and then they call me up. I'm like, bruh, like this was not the plan. This person is not supposed to be here. This person is not supposed to listen to me. Like this person is supposed to have gone. Like, no, 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 no. What am I going to say? Like, I literally went up, and the first thing that came out of my mouth is so and so pastor has said everything, and the whole room like burst out laughing. She's laughing and everybody's laughing, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you guys, I am serious. Like, she has said everything. What do you want me to say after this phenomenal teaching that she has said? Guys, I forgot my notes. I went up to go and preach without my iPad. It was a very dramatic experience. But guess what? She sat down. My nerves, God helped me. I got hold of my nerves and all of that, and it was a much better experience. So what I'm trying to teach us, in essence, is that don't let the fact that somebody you didn't like somebody's behavior the first time you met them, or they did something that threw them under the ball, and you just sweep them away and say this person is not worth knowing. No, I've learned that everybody deserves a chance to redo their first impression. I hope I've answered your first question adequately. Now to the second one. Um, Everybody is different. I hate giving list of do's and don'ts for relationships, and here's why. I'll tell you why. Lapidot needs to marry Deborah, and Esther needs to marry King Ahasuerus. They are two different men. I cannot use the standards of Lapidot for King Ahasuerus. I cannot use the standards of Joseph, who married Mary, for Elizabeth, who is married to a priest. So if I come and I tell you, oh, she must be this, she must be that, and it's not the blueprint of your destiny, then I have done you more harm than good. I've not helped you. The best help I can give you is having clear non-negotiables. So even if every other thing is up to chance or can be discussed, have clear non-negotiables, value-driven non-negotiables. So is this person's character consistent? When I was starting up earlier, I said you can forgive people for one-time failures, but pay attention to repeated patterns. I can forgive you for not doing what you said you would do, but if every time you tell me you do something, you never do it, then I'm concerned. So I want to pay attention to your patterns. Is she always hiding her phone from you? Is she talking to several people at the time and you are aware of it? If you are aware of it, are you comfortable with it? So what are your non-negotiables? What are the things that you're like, oh, this one is a deal breaker, cannot can? You should have them. There are some people that don't mind people that lie. Their only issue is don't cheat on me. You can lie to me, but don't cheat on me. That's a non-negotiable right there. There are some people that believe, oh, you know what? You can disappoint me, you can fail me, but don't lie to me. Have your own non-negotiables. It is now then that based on your non-negotiables, you can now look at your life and now say, do I need a Mary? Because you're a man now. Do I need a Mary? Do I need an Esther? Do I need a Deborah? What is the blueprint of my wife's life? So that when she comes in, even if she is not that, God calls you bridegroom. That means you groom her into becoming the worthy bride. So it's now your work that you now look at her and say, okay, this is it, this is it, this is it. I have a conference coming up in about 40 days from today, a women's conference. And my bridegroom, my husband, sat me down today and started asking me questions. What have you done? Where are you? There's 40 days to go. What is it? Where is your venue? He was asking me questions. Did it feel nice? No. Because sometimes when you are being groomed, it's painful. The pruning, the breaking of your shoulder pad, the all of that. It's not so great. It's not so comfortable. But you will now learn that okay, this is to make me better. I hope I've helped you, Mr. Peter. Awesome. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right. In the absence of questions, we have come to the end of today. We did almost 2 hours for what should normally be 1 hour, but thank you all so much for coming. I would love, 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 love to hear from you in the group about, something that stood out to you in today's session. I'd love to read from you and know something that hit you deeply, hit you differently, you know, made you question stuff. I'd really, really love to hear from you in that light. All right. And then next month's masterclass is going to be the third Saturday of next month, September, and we're going to look at the opportunity economy. The opportunity economy. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. You want to invite all your friends to be in the room because it's going to be a phenomenal conversation. But with these few points of mine, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your evening and bye for now, everybody.